$11. Just $11, handed out at the start of the week, expected to last until the next. That's the personal needs allowance for individuals in your care at KeyPoint Health Services. It's the official sum set by policy that's supposed to cover all the little things that make life feel normal. $11 to cover everything that makes a person feel, well, like a person. Not just to survive, but to have a sense of self, a sense of dignity, a haircut, a birthday card. The smallest gestures that remind us we matter, that we're remembered. A bar of soap that doesn't smell like industrial cleaner, something that feels personal, not institutional. A single bus ticket to see a friend, a rare chance to connect, to escape isolation, if only for an afternoon. This isn't just a small amount of money. It's an insult wrapped in a policy. It's a number that says, this is all you're worth. Imagine your entire personal world, your autonomy, your ability to participate in life's simplest pleasures, being tethered to a sum that wouldn't even buy you lunch. Not even a fast food meal, not even a sandwich and a drink. This isn't about luxury. It's about the basics. Toothpaste, deodorant, a pair of socks without holes. The dignity of buying new socks when your old ones have holes. The comfort of something clean and new, even if it's just once in a while. The simple joy of grabbing a coffee with a visitor. A moment of normalcy, a break from routine, a chance to feel included. $11 doesn't allow for that. It forces a choice between toothpaste and a magazine, between hygiene and a small pleasure. Every tiny human desire becomes an impossible financial calculation. Every want, every need, weighed against a handful of coins. The absurdity of this figure is staggering. It's almost laughable if it weren't so cruel. Prices have skyrocketed, but this allowance remains stuck. Groceries, toiletries, transportation, everything costs more, except the help people receive. It's a financial fossil, a relic from a bygone era. A number that hasn't kept up with reality, frozen in time while the world moves on. Pretending $11 can sustain anyone's personal needs for a week is not just out of touch, it's a deliberate act of ignoring the truth. It's a refusal to see the people behind the policy. It's looking at a person's basic humanity and putting a price tag on it that's less than a movie ticket, less than a single meal at most restaurants. This is where it stops being a budget issue and starts being a matter of justice. It's about fairness, about respect, about what we owe each other. This isn't a gentle suggestion for a minor tweak. This is a call for urgent, meaningful reform. This is a klaxon horn blaring in the dead of night, a wake-up call that can't be ignored any longer. This is a demand for a fundamental reevaluation of a policy that is actively causing harm. It's a plea for compassion, for decency, for change. The $11 allowance is not a support system, it's a cage. It's a barrier that keeps people from living, not just surviving. It's a weekly reminder to the people in your care that their needs, their wants, and their dignity are worth next to nothing, that their comfort and happiness are an afterthought. And we are here today in 2025 to say, this is not just unacceptable, it is unconscionable. It has to change. We cannot look away any longer. And it has to change now. Not next year, not after another review. Now, $11 a week. Seriously. This is the reality for too many, and it's time we face it. The time for change is overdue. Let's make it happen together. To understand how ridiculous this $11 figure is, let's travel back to 1982. E.T. was in theaters. Michael Jackson released Thriller. Gas was $1.30 a gallon. And the personal needs allowance, $11. Back then, it had some purchasing power. Today, it's a joke. This policy is over 40 years old. Older than the internet, older than most pop stars on the radio. Inflation has marched forward, but this number is frozen in time. It's like using a rotary phone and wondering why you can't send a text. This isn't just outdated, it's a refusal to acknowledge reality. Every year this policy remains unchanged is another year of institutional neglect. It's not resilience, it's neglect. This relic of 1982 must be dragged into the harsh, expensive light of 2025. It's a cruel and unusual punishment hiding as a line item in a budget. The time capsule must be opened, now. Let's do some basic math. Sometimes the numbers tell a story all on their own, a story that's hard to ignore. $11 a week is about $1.57 a day. That's less than the price of a cup of coffee in most places. What can you buy with that? The options are painfully limited. Maybe a bottle of water if you're lucky and find it on sale. Maybe a pack of gum, but not much else. But we're talking about personal needs. Shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, laundry detergent, socks, underwear, a phone card. A travel-size shampoo, $3. Bar of soap, $2. Toothpaste, $4. Deodorant, $5. That's $14. Already over budget, and we haven't even considered things like feminine hygiene products or a bus fare. This isn't a budget, it's a riddle with no answer. It's a mathematical impossibility, a puzzle that can't be solved. It's asking someone to fill a swimming pool with a thimble, to do the impossible every single day. This financial straitjacket has psychological consequences. The stress builds up day after day. It strips away agency and independence, making every decision feel like a defeat. Every small purchase becomes a source of stress, a calculation of what you must sacrifice next. The desire to buy a small gift for a loved one becomes a source of shame, a reminder of what you can't provide. This isn't just about money, it's about dignity, about the right to make choices for yourself. It's a constant reminder of powerlessness, a daily erosion of hope. So to anyone at Keypoint Health Services, try living on $11 for a week. No credit cards, no extra cash, just $11 and nothing more. See how quickly your sense of freedom evaporates, how fast your choices disappear. See how demeaning it is to choose between hygiene and happiness, between necessity and a small comfort. Only then can you begin to understand the daily reality you're imposing, the invisible weight carried by so many. $11 is not enough. It never was, and it never will be. The idea of choice with an $11 allowance is an illusion. It's like being offered a menu with 100 items but only affording the water. The choice is between soap or shampoo, not between a book or a magazine. A single load of laundry can cost half the weekly allowance. A basic phone card? The whole week's budget. The math doesn't work. This lack of purchasing power isolates people, keeping them from even the most basic social interactions. The $11 allowance isn't care, it's control. It's managed neglect of human dignity. Problems ignored don't disappear. They fester and grow, quietly gaining strength until they can no longer be contained. What was once whispered in hallways now echoes loudly in every corner. Keypoint Health Services may have thought this was an internal matter, something to be handled behind closed doors, but those days are over. The walls that once kept secrets in are now transparent. The secret is out. The community, advocates, the media, they see you. Eyes that were once turned away are now focused directly on you, demanding answers. For years, this problem was submerged, hidden beneath the surface, but now the iceberg is flipping over, revealing everything that was kept out of sight. The absurdity of a 1982 era allowance in 2025 is too stark to ignore. It's a relic of the past, clashing with the reality of today's world. The curtain has been pulled back and what we see isn't pretty. The truth is out and it's impossible to look away. We live in an age of transparency and social accountability. Every action is recorded, every decision scrutinized by a watchful public. The story of a healthcare company forcing people to live on $11 a week is tailor-made for public outrage. It's a headline that writes itself, sparking anger and disbelief. The choice for you, Keypoint, is no longer whether this issue will be addressed. The only question is how you will respond and how soon. The choice is whether you'll be part of the solution or the villain of the story. The narrative is unfolding, and your role is being written right now. You can hide behind outdated policies or lead the charge for change. The opportunity to do the right thing is right in front of you. The spotlight is on. It's getting brighter. The world is watching, waiting for your next move. What are you going to do? The answer will define your legacy. Why hasn't this policy changed? Bureaucratic inertia and corporate denial. The state sets the rate, the company implements it, and everyone points fingers while real people suffer. Keypoint Health Services is not a helpless victim. You see the impact every day. To witness suffering and do nothing is a failure of leadership and decency. The denial is in the statements about working within guidelines as if that excuses failure. This is not unchangeable. It's a choice. Every day you don't advocate for an increase is a choice to perpetuate the problem. You have a voice, a platform, and the ability to demand change. To remain silent is to be complicit. The freeze has to end. It's time to thaw out your conscience. Let's be clear. This is not a friendly suggestion. This is a roar for justice. The $11 allowance is a moral stain, a symbol of a system that's replaced care with cost. The time for quiet patience is over. This is a reckoning. For decades, you've handed over $11 knowing it's not enough. You cannot wash your hands of this responsibility. You are at the heart of the problem and the solution. The stakes are epic, the quality of life for human beings. This is about the right to dignity, not spreadsheets. So hear this roar. Let it shake you from complacency. This is a crisis demanding immediate action. This is not a request. It's a demand for your conscience to awaken. The reckoning is here. For too long, the system has blamed individuals for struggling on an impossible allowance. The fault is not with the people, it's with the policy. Suggesting someone can manage on $1.57 a day is gaslighting. The problem isn't financial literacy, it's a lack of basic humanity in the policy. Key Point Health Services must lead the narrative shift. The problem is the funding, not the clients. Stop teaching people to manage the unmanageable. Start fighting for what's fair. The blame lies with the policy. Who will have the courage to fix it? For people living on $11 a week, there is no end, just the next impossible week. Ignoring this problem won't make it go away. It will only make your complicity more obvious. $11 a week is not a personal needs allowance, it's a poverty sentence. A policy from 1982 has no place in 2025. This is not a budget issue, it's a justice issue. Your silence is a choice, and it's the wrong one. You have a duty to lead, not hide behind the state. This is your moment to become a champion for human dignity. The path forward is simple. Publicly declare that $11 a week is not enough. It's unjust, outdated, and must change. Accept the truth, embrace responsibility, lead the change. The people in your care, the community, and the public are waiting. The time for action is now.